Hey guys, Mark here. Just a quick rough and ready video to take you through some of the features of GPT-4o with Canvas that's been released today by OpenAI. Another update. They seem to be coming faster and faster at the moment, but it's an update that helps with coding and helps with writing. And be sure to stick around for the writing part of the video as well at the end, because that's the better part of the update, I think. But we'll cover the coding aspects first. So here we are in the familiar ChatGPT interface. You need to go up here and click and actually select the new model here with Canvas. It's in beta, as you can see. And actually what happens is it looks the same, but a new window pops up when you do something that it thinks it can help with, that the Canvas can help with. So it's either with coding or with writing. So let me just do a little quick demonstration for you on that. So if we say, help me write a Chrome extension that translates the page the user is on into Italian. Very appropriate for me because I am currently in Italy on a working holiday. I'm taking some time to really get my head down and work on some stuff for my community, for our Skool community. So I'll put the link in the description so you can take a look further at that. But here we are with the chat with GPT-4o with Canvas. So as you see, it popped up a different dialogue. You can close that dialogue here with clicking this link. But basically, it's like opened up this dialogue, which is Canvas. And what you'll find is that when you get to the Canvas, you've got some options down here on the bottom right. So you've got add comments, add logs, fix bugs, port to a language, and code review. So it's pretty much, you probably want to step through kind of in order a little bit here. So having been a coder in a previous life, these top two are just something that you should do, that a lot of coders like skip, because it's just that extra stuff that you need to add in, or you do it at the end, but this stuff you should be adding. So if you click add comments, what Canvas will do is it will go through the code and see these green bits here with the little 2 slash marks. So basically that's not adding to the code, that's just English, adding in English to help describe what the code is. So if I'm a new developer coming to look at this for the first time, I can understand like what all of these little bits are in here, and I don't have to read the code and then try and work it out. This English language that helps me get it. So this is just a great addition, and obviously we could do that within ChatGPT before, but now it's like the interface provides that kind of one click away. And now again with logging as well. Generally you want to add logging in. Not always, but you generally want to add some logging in. Sometimes you want to add logging in specifically to troubleshoot a bug. But again, add some logging in, and it goes ahead and adds in some logging code so you can see this console.log. So it's added in this additional code just to help kind of troubleshoot with any bugs. If you take a look on the left hand side here as well, just go back to that comments. I've added inline comments throughout the code to explain each part, especially focusing on the more complex aspects. Let me know if you need any further clarification or additional modifications. And then down here, the bit we just done with the log statements, I've added log statements to help debug the extension by tracking key actions such as button clicks, URL construction, and tab updates. Let me know if you need any further assistance. So that's a couple of things done already there. But great additions here. And then bug fixes. So let's see if it's found any bugs in its code. The code is actually pretty short for what I've asked for, so we'll see if it comes up with anything. Okay, so I've reviewed the code and fixed potential bugs, included check for valid tabs and URLs before proceeding, and adding error handling for tab updates. Let me know if you need further assistance. So when it's a longer bit of code, often it'll come up and it'll tell you some changes that it made, which I think is funny because it wrote the code and then it's now going and fixing bugs that is found in the code. Why didn't it write it in the first place, without the bugs? I mean, they're not bugs strictly, but it kind of helps with, it's just improved the code. So there's bug fixes, as I say, it'll be more specific with longer pieces of code, so you can try that out. And also, if I go ahead and purposely mess with the code and add some errors into it, I'd like to think that it's going to figure that out. So let's see, we've got 3 issues I've added in there. So if we go bug fixes again, Okay, so it hasn't said specifically again. So it's actually just very high level said it's found some typos. Again, like when I was testing it before, it was very specific about, okay, I changed this word that was a typo to this word. So let's ask, can you be more specific what you changed? That's what it says. So it hasn't actually mentioned the typos. Let's see if we can remember what it changed. Yeah, so it hasn't been very specific there. Okay, so that's interesting. But it did go ahead and fix those things. Those things have now been changed back and they're correct. So it has fixed the errors. And also you can go port to another language. So I don't really like this interface here because you have to scroll up and down to like find the one you want. It's not obvious straight away. You know, it's there. Keep current, Python, C++, PHP, JavaScript, TypeScript, or Java. So if I change it to Java, for example, I'll go ahead and change the code to Java as well. So this is all nice because it's all happening in one place. I haven't got to copy and paste different code out. I think, you know, when we're adding the logging and adding in different, asking it to add different features, it's kind of doing it in line and in place. Whereas before you'd have to do a lot of copying and pasting. It's kind of reducing that right down. And you'll find that even more when we come to the writing of the writing aspect of the update, which is really cool. So let me just click code review here, which is the last thing on the list here. It's got a code review, so it's got a whole bunch of recommendations here. So consider using a more concrete approach for getting the current page URL depending on the application context to ensure accuracy. So you can go ahead and just click apply and it'll go ahead and make that specific change. Again, like all in line. So let's see. Okay, so it's made those changes and it's kind of reflected on the on new changes here. I think there was more before, but it's probably less now because it made that other change. So again, you can just go in and very quickly kind of apply and make changes to the code based on its recommendations, which is really interesting. So that's the code changes. The next thing is the writing updates. I think in some ways this is a little bit more interesting because I think it actually is kind of a step change. Like this stuff you could kind of do, it's just that the interface is nicer. I think with the writing, there's just more options now than there was before. So let me just start with a story. So write a story about an astronaut. Oh, spelled astronaut wrong. Astronaut that went into space for 50 years, and when he returned, AI had taken over. Again, it's popped up that window to show that now we're in Canvas mode. This is the story it's come up with for our astronaut. So in here, we've got add emojis, we've got add final polish, reading level, adjust the length, and suggest edits. So I'll start from the bottom this time. I sort of prefer the bottom to top approach here. So here it's kind of made some suggestions for the story. Consider adding a brief description of how the suspended state of sleep works to provide more context for readers unfamiliar with this concept. So you can go ahead again and just click apply and it'll go ahead and make those changes. Yay. Consider describing the drones in more detail. What makes them unique or unsettling? This could help build the tension of the scene. So great. Let's go and add that in as well. So you can go ahead and go through all of those. That's one thing. And actually the changes are really good when you actually read them. And like you can see, actually it does add value. It is better than when it started. Again, I think it's kind of funny that it wrote the story and now it's suggesting these changes after. But, I think it's a little bit like, where GPT-4, had some time to think and would reflect on things that it was, decisions that it was making. This is kind of the next step. I see it as like, okay, it's been through that process. It's kind of made its choices. It's decided to write a story. It's done some, reflection throughout that process. But this is almost like the editor now. This is almost like looking at it with fresh eyes. I've written the story. I've woken up tomorrow morning and now I'm looking at it with fresh eyes. That's the kind of way I think about it. So I think it kind of makes sense. Yeah, now I look at it and now I read it back. And I think we all do that. Now I read it back again. I think I could have improved it by doing this. And I think this is what this is doing here as well. So again, I think this is an awesome change, I think. So I'll make all those changes to our story. So our story is quite long now. So you can go ahead and adjust the length of the story as well. So you can say, okay, I want it to be very short. Let's go longest first. So I'll make it even longer. Again, it's doing that in line. It's still going. There you go. I've expanded the story to add more depth to Elliot's journey, including additional sensory details, emotional reflections, and the introduction of new characters to enhance narrative. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to adjust or add. Right, that's just great. And then I can make it shorter. So let's go shortest. So maybe this is for X. This is the X version. Okay, it's probably too long for X even. Let's see what it says about what it removed. Shorten the text by 75%, focusing on maintaining the core storyline while reducing repetition and elaboration. Let me know if this works or you need any further adjustments. So great, we've got our shorter story here. I'm going to go and make it longer again. No, I'm not. We don't need it for this. Okay, so you can adjust the reading level as well. So you can change it to kindergarten, middle school, keep the current reading level, high school, college, or graduate school. So, this is a really good addition because generally, they say that, if you're writing content, you generally want to write it for, middle school. You want to write it for, and that's kind of what a lot of newspapers, that's the level they write at. Even some of the more, what you say, like higher brow newsletters, they write it for something without complex words, things that people understand, because we want to be able to read something, especially it's like the news, and read it and understand it quickly and easily without having to consult a thesaurus or a dictionary. So, you can make it middle school level reading. Which will change that. But also, if you want it to be more of a complex piece in terms of language, then we can go right up to that graduate level. So we'll do that as well in a minute. So let's see what we've got. When Commander Elliot Carter left Earth in 2035, he thought we'd come back to the same world, just a little older and a little wiser. So let's see how much it changes the first paragraph. So his mission was to explore far into our solar system, pushing the limits of what humans can do. He was put into a deep sleep for 50 years with his body in stasis and his mind slowed down. So it would feel like no time had passed. There you go. So reading level, graduate school. So when Commander Elliot Carter departed in 2035, he anticipated returning to the same world, albeit slightly older and wiser. I think that was the same. His mission aimed to explore the fringes of our solar system, pushing the boundaries of human capability. He was placed in a state of deep stasis for 50 years, with his body preserved in suspended animation and his cognitive function slowed to a near halt, allowing the passage of time to seem inconsequential. Here you go. So it's kind of really definitely filled that out with some longer words and elaborated on the stasis part there as well. So we're going to start kind of wrap this up now, I think, because I think we're almost there. I left this one to the last on purpose because it's insane. So you can add emojis, but it always seems to go way over the top. So in a way, this doesn't look as bad as it does sometimes, honestly, but there's still a lot of emojis in there. And you don't really want emojis for a story, maybe for your social media posts or whatever, but not for a story like this. So you can go and ask it to remove them again. I just went away from my computer for a little while before I showed you the last feature, and it broke it. So I'm going to cut that a little bit out of the video. But basically, I tried to ask it to remove all the emojis, and it missed a few. And then I asked it to do the polish feature, and it failed to do that. So I'm just going to create a new one here. I think it's because I was away from a computer for a while, but I think that's definitely a bug. So if I just go back to where we were with a new story, and I'll show you the polish feature, and then we'll wrap up. And the polish feature is actually really nice, really nice. So there you go, let's add polish. There you go. So basically what it does is it does a few other things, but mainly it's kind of adds this nice formatting, and so you can just copy and paste it very easily to where it needs to go. It hasn't added too many subheadings in actually, but you know, it just makes it look neat. So it's added change and spacing between the paragraphs and that, just to make it kind of more readable. So it says I've added a title and section headings. I've added a title and section headings to provide better structure to the story. I also polished the text for clarity and consistency, ensuring it reads smoothly. Let me know if you need anything else adjusted. So that is the polish feature. But that's, you know, a real quick summary of the update of GPT-4o with Canvas. I think another great update by OpenAI. I love it. Every update seems to be just another step up now, and I'm just can't wait to see what they've got planned coming up next. It just seems to be, the development just seems to be getting faster and faster. It's getting better all the time, and that's good for us who are working in this space with AI and automation, because these tools getting better is just going to make what we can do and what we can automate and produce even better. So thanks for listening. Hope that was of some interest, and I'll catch you on the next video.